Can you talk a little bit, Mike, about how you find the balance in how aggressive you are with some of your programming decisions based on the timeline you have, what's reasonable for a goal, and then the expected cost of whatever method you're deciding to pursue, and how you kind of find that balance?
Yeah. Dude, this is such a good question. I guess I haven't thought of it exactly like this before. I mean, just respect the fact that if you're going to try and again speed farm your results, you're playing with fire, right? So the second you take an unprepared body, immediately start to train it hard or try and get it ready for a preseason, like you're up against the wall and I don't expect a good outcome. Now, it's not to say necessarily something bad is going to happen, but I don't expect good things to happen, right? Because they're not physically prepared. So this actually happened a little bit more with me last year, and it wasn't their fault, but I had a lot of guys that were transitioning from the NBA to overseas, or guys that had been overseas, played a lot longer than usual. And so then, it's crazy. Like the overseas season in Europe is actually longer than the NBA season. And so what ends up happening is you've got all of this time chasing performance goals, right? Outputs, performing, competing, and then your actual time to rebuild the body, right? All the things that we talked about were important, especially like mobility and movement capacity, restoring movement options, rebuilding connective tissues. It's not enough time to achieve some of those or to get them to a desirable enough level. Or even if I can do that, now I haven't had enough time to top off that force production bucket. And so to kind of maybe answer this in a different way, how willing am I to push with a high level athlete that has already proven themselves to be successful at a professional level? I'm not willing to push that much, right? Again, I'm thinking about how can I restore as much as possible every offseason? Can I get as much movement back as possible? Can I top their force production buckets off? Can I make sure their endurance and conditioning are where it needs to be? Because they've already proven they have the physical tools and characteristics to play at the professional level. And they're making money, right? So every year I can get them healthy, get them back on the court for an entire season. They have the chance to not only play another year, but hopefully get a pay raise. So with that demographic, I'm not willing to push as much. Now, on the other side, if I've got a 15-year-old kid whose only goal is to play Division I basketball, now within reason, I'm going to push them, but I'm a lot more willing to push that athlete to help them get the desired changes. Because again, I don't want to say there's less at stake, but there are costs associated with it, but I'm willing to take some calculated risks knowing that, hey, we have to do these things if you want to be able to play at that level. There are some kids like, look, I love them. They're amazing kids, but they don't have the physical tools necessary. Right? Doesn't matter what training program I give them, doesn't matter how hard they train, whether it's their size, their speed, their strength, body shape, whatever it is, they just don't have the physical tools. So, hey, I'm going to do the best that I can with you, but I also know that there's probably a limit on this versus others where it's like, hey, no, we just need really good sound training. You have the tools, but now you have to put in the work. So with that group, I'm willing to push a little bit, but again, never just like throwing everything to hell in a handbasket, right? I'm still going to make great exercise decisions. I'm still going to work within their boundaries and what they can do. But with those athletes, I feel like you have to push the needle.